This might get weird.
Are we rolling?
We're rolling.
Cheers, Grace Helping.
Cheers, Mamrie Hot.
Wowie zowie, guys. Woo! Once again, we are back in my kitchen because it's too goddamn hot in that little back house. I think it's crazy because when you think about it, y'all people who eat meat, who are eating raw stuff, is pretty crazy.
Yeah, the worst New Year's of my life was bad oysters, and I puked for 8 hours.
And you were on a first date, right?
Technically, I was on a first date, yeah. And the date and I traded off puking in a bathroom in a hotel for 8 hours. And it was cartoonish and disgusting. And I can't believe I have that memory in my head.
It's crazy. Some vegans will eat oysters because they don't have a nervous system. Or so
so
there's
they
no
can rationalize.
Pain.
Yeah.
There's no pain.
Okay.
I mean, oysters, not exactly the brightest fish in the sea. They're dum-dums.
They're in shells.
They're dum-dums. They're
slugs. Sea slugs. Yeah, you're just eating sea snot. Like, if that's what you want. I know. Look, they're not
boogers.
Great. They're boogers. They're not great. Fancy Feast announced plans for Gatto Bianco, a pop-up restaurant in New York City. That is a 2-day pop-up, and it will be Italian-style trattoria and culinary experiences with recipes inspired by the brand's food.
No.
Yeah. So the brand
hard no.
Again is Fancy Feast, which is cat food.
It is straight up like the commercial where they take it out of the can and they put it in a little crystal goblet.
Oh, it's bringing the mealtime experience of cats to life for cat owners and cat lovers, and includes a special appearance by the iconic Fancy Feast cat herself.
Listen, our friend Claire did something for Fancy Feast, like a brand deal. And it was like in random, like Wisconsin or something. And she got to take this portrait with the Fancy Feast cat. And she was starstruck. But she was like, no. It's like the lineage.
Oh,
you know that Bush's baked beans, they've gone through 4 or 5 pound dogs. They had to, you know.
100%. Guys, we are ruining your fantasies of everything today. That's the goal. You thought anything that was fun is safe? No, it is not what you think it is.
I am notorious for getting a salad from somewhere and then just eating it with my hands. Like,
see, that's crazy to me.
It's absolutely crazy. But I also, there's certain salads I know that I'm like
hand salads.
Like there's a salad bar that I go to at Gelson's, and I'm gonna build my salad bar. I'm just as is my salad bar.
Gelson's has a great salad bar, by the way.
You know what? Only great by LA standards. I feel like LA is not, they have build your own, like where someone else is making it. But as far as creating your own salad, they don't have many. And because of the pandemic, forget it.
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah.
Forget it. And a salad bar is like my favorite thing on earth. So it's like, why would I ever go to Ruby Tuesdays now that they don't have them?
Yeah, you can't.
Who cares? Fuck them. But I know when I build my salad there, I'm going to do it like normal. Yeah. But then they have a cold Gigante bean salad.
What bean?
Have you seen those beans? They're like, look up Gigante bean.
How do I even spell that?
Like gigantic, but
with a G?
Yeah, Gigante. Gigante. Like Gigante.
It just says, do you mean giant bean?
Yeah, Gigante beans. They're basically massive. They're like 3 times the size of a pinto.
This is just finding the Jolly Green Giant.
Okay, well, I'll show it to you. Long story short, they're like a cold. What are the things called in Italian cooking? You get them at the beginning. A little bit of each.
What? I feel like I'm on a different wavelength.
Long story short, it's a large bean, like a bean salad.
Yeah, like a fava bean.
Yeah, but like the father of a fava.
Whoa, the Godfava bean. The Godfava.
And they're easy to pick up one by one. I know I'm eating those cold beans on the way home, baby.
See, I think you should develop and take to Shark Tank a line of hand-eaten salads for people on the go.
I'm into this idea.
There's got to be some way to eat a salad that doesn't require the hazards of utensils.
It's true. Salad on the go, though, the acronym is just SOG. So we're gonna
It's
have to
exactly
work.
as it
We're
sounds.
gonna have to work on the name. We're gonna have to work on the name. The biggest wowie zowie. It's the recap you've been waiting for.
I mean, it's going to be all you because I don't remember anything that happened this weekend.
Oh my God, you guys. Grace, if you've been in a hole or a silent retreat this weekend
Yes,
and
good
don't
for you.
know this, Grace got married this weekend.
I did. That's so crazy to say.
Yeah.
To hear and to recognize. It was amazing.
You guys, when I tell you, for making up your vows, like this was the
I don't remember
sweetest
what I said.
ceremony in the world. First
It
of all,
was
we're in a
sweet.
tiny chapel. There's 5 people. There's 5 of us.
It's like the size of your kitchen here.
Yeah, it's so tiny. It's the 5 of us. And you guys come down and you do the repeat after me and then you do your own vows. And it was just like so sweet
It was
and
very
so
sweet.
Heartfelt. And Elliot's crying and Chip was whimpering.
Yeah, it was a very big cry day. I felt so bad for Val, who had to just constantly retouch my makeup all day long. So it was just like someone would send a nice message when we were getting ready, and I was like, "Here it comes again."
I know. Hannah sent the gift up to the room, and it was just like, roll.
Oh God, this is how it's going to be all day today.
Oh, it was so sweet, and they were so heartfelt and and it was just perfect.
It was nice.
And it was right at that moment that you were like, oh, fucking kiss that bride. Let's go. And that's when
Pastor
Steve decided to tell the world's longest metaphor about love.
Oh, I remember him just being like, "This reminds me of my life-changing experience 2 years ago."
No, okay,
No,
he goes, now, right now, this is a perfect impression of him.
Yeah.
Now you're in love and everything is wonderful. And you have a rose of love, but there are thorns and you need to, and before you place, this is a direct quote, soon I will ask you to place a kiss on the scarlet threads of her lips. And I looked at Chip. I've been bawling for 30 minutes, and I look at Chip and I go, no.
Perfect.
This is taking a turn, right? So then he goes, but know that as in love as you are now, there's going to come a time when your love reaches a valley of nothingness. He goes, there will be, like he said, he was like, it will be tough, but you will forge across. He goes, and then in the distance, literally, Grace, he goes,
Yeah.
I know you were blacked out. He goes, and in the distance, you will see an oak tree
Yes.
of your love.
Oh.
And that oak tree will clap for you. So I'm like, now we're talking about animated tree. Where are we? Are we roses? Are we deserts? Are we oak trees?
It was a lot of nature imagery.
Lots.
And I remember something about we're going to be writing on the quills of our hearts.
Yes.
Or something.
When I tell you, this is like minute 12 where he goes, and you are going to come across a hurricane. There will be a storm that will test you like no other. Meanwhile, I'm like, too soon, dude. Like,
I know,
Elliot's family just went through Hurricane Ian.
Literally, we just were making sure Elliot's family was okay in the hurricane 2 days before so we could actually celebrate this weekend.
Yeah, so he goes full hurricane metaphor. He goes, and that hurricane will test you. And you guys, here's where it really turned. He goes, like it did me in my marriage 2 years ago. And I was like, oh my God, he's making it about him. He got divorced. He goes, and when you need someone who will stand by you without money, without a job, and you're going, oh my God, Pastor Steve's wife left him. Please just say, and literally, Grace, he goes, without money, without a job, it'll test you harder than it's ever been. And you must go forth. And by the power invested in me, he went straight into, like he's talking about his own divorce and like literally in the same breath announced you husband and wife.
I was just looking and I was trying to be like, not reacting the way I normally would if I was just watching someone else get married in this part.
What I was doing, as you know, was like death grip to Chip of being like, why is this happening? Why isn't this ending yet? Why did they just say the sweetest vows and now he is telling them like a Canterbury tale?
I was like, So shrooms are legal in Vegas, and Pastor Steve has been on a spiritual journey today.
In my head, I was like, okay, Pastor Steve lost his job 2 years ago when he hit rock bottom during his divorce. And now he's just now starting to come back to work. Yeah. But there's someone in the back that has like a shock collar on him. That's like, Steve, I swear to God, if you start talking about your divorce during this sweet couples ceremony, we are going to shock you out of it.
It was, and
it was so perfect. The fact that it got weird was so perfect.
I was standing there being like, I do not have the bandwidth to remember all of this. I sincerely hope Mamrie is remembering what's being said right now, because all I can understand is the tone is crazy now. And here we are, and he is still going.
And we're in the tiniest room. Meanwhile, she's got a photographer that's like moving all around, like being the best photographer, has a Super 8 camera. So then that noise will be like it's that, we're just going like, fucking kiss. Why is he still going? Oh, now there's oak trees. Now there's a drought. Now there's a hurricane. The rose has its thorn. Okay, what other metaphors are we going to hit, Steve?
He did them all. You know, I feel like
what oak tree claps?
We're gonna find out, I guess.
We did get you this tiny thing. Well, so we got to the airport, and immediately went to a tequileria and got huge beers and queso. But beside us was this little stand of personalization. So we went over there, and so we got you. Let me try to open this.
Oh my God!
We got you guys a poker chip with your wedding photo on it. Oh
my God, that's so sweet! Oh, this is gonna also make Elliot cry. That is amazing. It's got some heft to it.
It's got nice.
Yeah.
If you drop it, you're gonna find it.
Oh, nice! Thank you.
Oh my God! But it was just like, it was a perfect ceremony. It was perfectly great. You guys. I was so honored to be there.
Oh, thank you, Mames. You made it amazing.
I've been crying for 3 days.
I know, same. That's why I'm like, we're gonna go to this other quieter desert, and we're gonna go just literally be off the radar from everything right now.
Go do some drugs.
That's gonna be a little bit of it. I'm full of booze still from the weekend, but man, it was so wonderful to share with everyone, and also to just have it feel like it was chaotic and simple at the same time, and that's like totally our speed. So it was really sweet. Are you crying?
I'm crying.
You sweet angel. I have been crying all weekend that I literally don't know if I have any more tears in the registry right now.
No, you're good. But okay. Well,
it was insane.
My adventure started last Thursday.
Okay.
In which Beans and I, again, got up on an early flight and flew to Lexington, Kentucky.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So it was my friend Ashley and her husband Jeff's 10-year wedding anniversary, and I was her maid of honor. It's like my high school bestie. And so they were like, they got married in Kentucky last time. And so then they kind of like lightly floated to friends like, hey, would you want to do like kind of like a 10th anniversary weekend? We'll go to the racetrack. They have like a beautiful racetrack called Keeneland. We'll do like a bourbon tour, like go to a horse farm, all that jazz.
Lovely.
And Ashley was like, select, like six or eight friends, 34 people.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So they went from like, we'll plan like a little fun weekend to like, oh, we're hosting a second wedding.
Yeah. We're having another wedding right now.
Absolutely. And like this is my friend who like, everything is personalized. Everyone wore like a cute hat because this group of girls, all of them had gone on a different girls trip 2 weeks earlier. And they'd gone to Kimosabi's, the hat store in Aspen from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, like a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, and they all get the hats that were lit on fire.
Yes, so they all had like on $500 hats with their like names branded into them with like feathers. Once again, you gotta have your name on it.
Yeah, of course. You gotta. Where's Kathy's tequila?
So meanwhile, I just roll up in a gray floppy hat like I'm J-Lo's grandmother. But no, the level of like fancy we're working with here is we get, a little buzz there. Then we go into the racetrack.
Okay.
Immediately we go to the champagne bar and get like champagne. And we're sitting there and people are betting and it's super fun. And then one of her friend walks up who was the only person who came without a hat, right?
Oh.
She comes in. I'm not kidding. She had a work of art on her head. She strolls in, having gone to the gift shop.
Wait, at the racetrack?
At the racetrack, they had like a little hat store, right?
Oh, that's great.
So she didn't want to be like, so now I'm really the loser in the floppy hat. Like, I'm like from an I'm Real J-Lo Ja Rule video,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But so anyway, she comes back and she's got like a full like peacock sitting on her head.
Yeah. Subtle.
And she's got this hilarious accent. I loved her to death. And she was like, well, I went a little crazy at the gift shop. And we're like, what's okay? And then she's talking to another girl and the girl looks at me. She goes, do you know how much that cost? I go, what? She goes, she went up to the gift shop and saw it was $98. So she went to buy it. It was $980 and she was too embarrassed to put it back.
What? Oh, so she's on a whim and out of shame.
She's sitting there.
$980.
She's fully like bug-eyed. And I was like, oh, okay. I guess they are rolling with some money. Like this was like the older couple at the wedding, at the party. And then that night I'm talking to her and her husband because of course she threw a dinner with like a neon with their names. Like, you know, everything is perfect.
They love personalized stuff. My God.
Actually,
you will never get lost and wander into the wrong party.
No one is stealing your shit.
Yeah.
So anyway, and I'm sitting there and I'm talking to her and her husband and she said something about the hat and her husband goes, so I guess you heard about the hat. And I go, oh yeah. I go, everyone's talking about it. Her eyes are as big as fucking saucers. And she just looks at me. She goes, yeah, I had no idea it was $200.
What?
So I was like, oh, you're lying to your husband. So she's just sitting there with $1,000 on her head and lied and was like, the whole day has been like, who's going to out me? Who's going to out me? So anyway, I go in and I quickly realize I'm like, I only brought dresses for a different kind of racetrack.
Yes.
This is my racing weekend. So we go shopping and I'm like, oh, okay, you're just supposed to dress normal, I guess. And I get like,
what is the dress code? They don't show like the fans as much.
No. And so I really thought this was like a you get dressed up event.
Yeah.
You know what I
would
mean?
assume that.
No, Jacqueline's like, I'm wearing jeans and like a white
So it's like
halter
NASCAR.
top. Well, a little more than NASCAR.
Yeah.
NASCAR, you're lucky
I say
if
that
they
like
are
I've
closed.
been to. Yeah, I'm saying that like I've been to a NASCAR event and know what the dress code is.
No, but so I'm like, okay, so we find a couple stores. I get like jean shorts. I get some cute sneakers because I only had boots and stuff.
Yeah.
And like a white shirt and a different hat.
Nice. Okay, how much was this hat?
This hat was more expensive because it was from Madewell, but it was like a nice mustard color.
Nice.
And Jacqueline gets a cream one, and we're just automatically just like, we're hat girls.
You have a twinning effect to you when you're with one person.
Like we're the hat girls now. Ooh. So it's the day of the show, right?
Of the race.
Okay. So Jacqueline was told by a million people it is a nightmare to actually get to the track because the track is like 10 miles away.
Right. Okay. I'm trying to remember from the season. Austin.
I'd never even seen the track before, and I've been to Austin probably 40 times. You know. Yeah. It's called Circuit of the Americas, and it's huge.
Yeah.
And it's just 1 million miles, and it's like just 10 miles away. And I guess like they say, oh, you can take an Uber. You're going to be in the Uber for 2.5 hours, even though it's 10 miles.
Just because of traffic.
Because of traffic and everything.
Shit.
So that was previous years. So Jacqueline was like really freaked out that we needed to like the gates opened at 9 a.m. and the race was at noon.
Yeah.
So we were like, she was like, we got to leave the hotel at 8 and go. Yeah. But this year they had a ton of shuttles, right?
Okay.
So now it was like, oh, we'll get in the shuttles. We'll go there at like right in the morning. So I put on my little outfit, got on my white shirt. That's like an expensive white shirt, like a crisp white shirt.
You've treated yourself.
I truly did. I looked at it. I was like, I would never pay this much for a white shirt, but we're going to F1.
Yeah,
I didn't pay for the tickets.
F1 is an expensive luxury sport.
It is. We get in the Uber to go to the shuttle, and I immediately spill coffee all over the front of me. Immediate. within 4 seconds.
See, that is the risk in wearing white. Oh no.
Within 4 seconds, we get out and we're like, which way? They're like, you have to pick up your wristband for the shuttle. And they point and it's like down this crazy walkway. Mm-hmm. By the time we get to the shuttle, my feet are bleeding because they were new shoes. I am hobbling. There is blood filling up my both socks.
Oh no, you're just covered in liquids.
I'm just like, Jacqueline's like, are you? Oh my God, your foot is covered in blood. I was like, I'm okay. Like just trying to be a trooper.
I will make it to this event.
Just trying to be a trooper. We get in the shuttles. It's the easiest thing ever. We get to the Formula One track at 9.
Uh-huh.
And that's when we realize the actual race is at 2:30. We're 5.5 hours early.
Oh, this is a theme for the two of you this weekend in Austin. Hat girls coming in hot and early. And you're like, we have 5.5 hours to find some Band-Aids and a new shirt.
Also, there are 100,000 people literally attending this race.
Wow.
And we're the only people in wide brim hats.
It's just a series of bad choices. It's a series.
As we got on the shuttle, an older man said, "Nice hats, ladies," who like was working the line.
Yeah.
And Jacqueline and I were like, "Ooh, look at us go." And then we got there, we were like, we're the only people dressed for Coachella. Everyone here is in baseball hats. We look like idiots trying to get rich husbands. We get in there and it turns out we were going to go to our seats, which were really good. Yeah. And then she's like, oh my God, the same person who hooked us up with the concert last night is hooking us up with badges to get into the Sports Illustrated lounge.
Whoa, that sounds major.
It sounds major, right?
Yeah.
So after I hit up the medical tent to get Band-Aids.
The hats are hobbling to the medical tent.
And it's so windy because of the racetrack. We're just holding our hats. Like they're flying off. We're chasing after them, right?
Yeah.
So we get to the Sports Illustrated lounge, which is basically what I find out is like the bougiest place on this track. It's a huge like 2-story lounge with all these bars, food, a fucking sushi roll thing, and then like on the bottom there's like 8 rows, and it's right on a turn. And that's why it's so nice, because it's like, I guess the place in that track where you're most likely to see someone pass.
Cool. So you get
like
to see real action. Oh my God.
And you're like unobstructed right there. So there's like 8 rows on the bottom floor and probably like 4 rows of seats up top, right?
Okay.
So we get there. She calls her contact. The contact's like, oh, I'm not going to be there till 12. There's a girl at the front named Madison. I'll tell her to let you in, right?
Yeah.
So we show up. Immediately there's a girl up front who is like Emily Blunt in Devil Wears Prada. She's like, who are you? Do I care? Like
this is like 10 a.m.
Yeah, I'm just coffee stains, hobbling up. And she's like, ma'am, I don't know who the fuck you're not on the list. Literally, she said, you're not on the list. And then she went, cause there's not a list. Do you have a badge? And we were like, no. And then so Jacqueline's like, let me go text my contact, blah, blah, blah. And the contact's like, I'll call her. And then 2 seconds later, full bitchy girl just goes, hi, I'm Madison. Are you with AGB? Like whatever the sponsor was. So we go inside and Madison is like, just so you know, like we actually don't have extra lanyards. Okay. So like, and you have to have it to be in here. So I'll try to tell a couple security people that you guys are good to go, but like they might approach you and be like, you're not here. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're not supposed to be here. So we get there and we're like, oh my God, we're here 5 hours early. We're going to have breakfast, lunch, and a snack before this starts.
This is like you're at the best airport lounge on a layover for 12 hours.
Yeah. So, but then we Google it. Grace.
Yeah.
Do you know how much a lanyard was to be in that lounge?
How, like
entry,
man.
like for that's where you like would watch the Formula One.
Okay, it's a bougie, expensive sport, and this is the best lounge. I'm gonna be crazy and say 10 grand.
18.
What?
$18,000. $5 a person to be in that lounge.
Oh, I would take my hat off and start just scooping sushi into it for later.
I was like, I'm going to eat uni like M&Ms, and I'm a vegetarian. Like, but the first thing, of course, that happens is we go up to the bar.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I was like, we could do a mimosa. I see peach puree. I'm like, let's do a Bellini, right?
Yeah.
So I walk up to the sassy bartender and I'm like, we'll take 2 Bellinis, please. And she goes, I can't make it.
Everyone is so sassy.
She's like, I can't make it. And I go, oh, well, I see you have peach puree. She goes, yeah, but I don't have a blender. And I go, oh, that's not what a Bellini is. I was like, it's just peach puree and the Prosecco. She goes, She goes, I don't have a blender. I don't have peach schnapps. I can't make a Bellini. And I go, yes, you can. And Jacqueline watched. She said, me and her, and this is like an old broad. Yeah. We just literally moved our necks towards each other for a minute. And then I go, ma'am, this is how you make a Bellini. And she goes, I've been bartending for 30 years. And Jacqueline goes, Mamrie, I watched you actually swallow words. Yeah. Because it was that moment I was like, I am in a lounge that costs more than my student loans were. There's nothing I can do right now that isn't gonna look like I'm some rich bitch.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And you're gonna be there for 6-7 hours.
I mean, yeah, luckily there were a bunch of bartenders. But she watched me and she was like, I watched you swallow all your pride and go, then just 2 mimosas. I was like, I cannot draw attention to me.
You're like, my shoes are boats full of blood.
Oh my God.
I gotta really start choosing my battles here.
So anyway, we hang out there for 3 hours. And then she gets a text from a friend of hers that there's a full RV park there. And I mean massive $1 million tour buses where people park for the whole weekend.
Wow.
On the track.
These are people that are watching the event. These aren't the people that are running the event.
Right.
Okay.
This is people that they're we got
Wow.
So she had a friend. So we're like, okay. She calls the person. She's like, we want to go say hi to our friend really quick. Will we be able to get back in? She's like, yeah, no problem. I'll be back. Well, actually, her friend who was finally at the event was like, yeah, I just had to be here. Shaq is watching it from here. So I'm about to meet him.
Shaq? Excuse me?
Because Shaq was DJing on the paddock at the end of the event.
We're talking Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaq.
Flat Earther Shaq.
Flat Earther Shaq. DJ name Diesel. Just before we get any hopes up, I did not lay eyes on Shaq. I wish.
Okay.
But so anyway, we go visit a friend. They've been there all weekend, loving it. She only brought 2, but she has 5 black Pomeranians. The friend.
Why not? Okay, sure.
So I'm just getting some dog love. And then we're like, oh shit. Okay, it's starting in 45 minutes. We got to go back.
Yeah.
So we hobble back, right? We hustle back. We get to the front. We're like, Madison, what's up?
Hey.
It's us. She's like, Jesus Christ. She's swallowing everything. She's like, okay, just remember, you don't have lanyards. People are going to be mad, right? We get up there. Grace, I kid you not. We were the first people in that lounge. Didn't even think to save 2 seats.
Oh no.
The entire thing is full and we're like, we've been here for 5 hours and we didn't save seats.
Oh shit.
Wait, shit.
Could you still see the track?
So here's what happens. So we're posted, we're like, what do we do? What do we do? There's a lot of, you can see it from the inside, but you want to be on the outside. But they were being really strict about fire code. So unless you had a seat outside, you couldn't just stand out there.
Okay.
Right? But you could see it from the window, again, because we were so close to the track.
Yeah.
So all the seats, tables near the windows are taken. So we just post up in front of this garbage can that's right at the window, right?
That seems appropriate at this point.
Yeah. Literally, great. So, and then people are in front of us at the window, but we're like, we know they're going to get kicked out.
Yeah.
So and then we'll have a clear view, right?
Right.
These old rich guys go by and it was it looked like an ex-Rolling Stone member. He was just like, you girls are just hanging out by the rubbish. And we go, oh, you wait, sir. You wait. And then he goes outside. 5 minutes later, he gets kicked out. He comes back in. He goes, rubbish girls. We go, we told you. We have the best seat. So anyway, I'm like, okay, it's about to start. And not only that, but Carlos Sainz, her crush, is in pole position. He's in first position.
Wow.
And like notoriously at this track, pole wins. Right?
Okay. Oh,
so
I'm getting spoilers on the upcoming season. Okay.
So I was like, oh, this is going to be amazing. So anyway, I'm like, I'll go get us another drink really quick. She's like, cool. She's like, I'm going to just move this trash can and like bring two stools up to the window. And I'm like, great idea. Okay. So I go.
Here's our plan and break.
Here's our plan, because we'll have a perfect view. Even better than being outside because it's hot. We were in the AC, but still like basically fifth row. So I go get drinks. I come back to Jacqueline being kicked out.
No! Of the entire lounge?
So, I mean, it's like, it's like there's 10 seconds till it starts. Everyone is looking around. Jacqueline has moved a stool, and I see her with another little tiny boss bitch and a huge security girl that just was like, looked like she was from Glow. And she goes, no, I'm with AGB. And she's like, I don't know who that is. And I hear Jacqueline go, it's one of your biggest sponsors. You should check the step and repeat downstairs. Right?
Oh, shit. So you guys are getting sassy back with all the sassy.
So I was like, what? She was like, let me call my contact. And then the girl's like, ma'am, you have to come to the front. I'm like, oh my God, everyone's looking at us. Like we've snuck in, right? Like we haven't snuck out anyway. And then she just goes, well, hold on. Ask Madison if she knows that. Us. With 2 seconds, the other girl's like, Madison? Okay. All right, fine. If you know Madison, I will let you stay here until we have confirmation you're supposed to be here. And so, the race has started. We've missed the beginning of the race. We're in everyone's way. Yeah. We're in a kerfuffle.
You've caused a scene already.
Jacqueline goes, Mame, go get another stool. Bring it up to the window. I go, okay. I hand her drink. I go get a stool, come back. Within that 10 seconds, she spilled the entire glass of wine over herself.
No! The two of you, God, I wish that this somehow made it onto the season of Formula One. I wish.
We looked insane, right? So she was like trying to text the person to be like, I'm being kicked out. And pours a whole glass of Sauvignon Blanc all over herself, right?
Oh,
Finally, the girl comes up. She's like, they're fine. They're fine. They're guests of ours. Like, they just don't have lanyards.
Yeah.
And I'm like, of course they're going to kick us out. They think we're squatters at $36,000 worth of squatting, right?
Jesus.
And meanwhile, we had like great seats. It's just that this was like an experience, you know?
Yeah.
So we sit there, and me and Jacqueline are just like secretly dying. She's like, well, I'm covered in wine and look like this is so embarrassing. I go, I got in a fight about Bellinis and my shoes are filled with blood. Like,
I'm still covered in coffee from this morning. Yeah.
I plan on having, well, I'll probably have some stories next week. It's Halloween. But
that's true. That's true.
We'll figure it out. Oh man. Well, this got weird.
Yeah.